Our beautiful soul, welcome to Shelo Mystics. If you're a Scorpio or if you're a Scorpio in your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus placements, this reading may resonate with you. Today's reading is a love tarot reading for the month of June 2026. We will be looking into your past, present energy, future obstacles, and likely outcomes surrounding your love life and emotional connection. Please remember that tarot readings are general readings. Take whatever resonates and leave what does not. Energies can be interchangeable, and the readings may connect with your situation in unexpected ways. Before we begin, if you enjoy tarot, spiritual intuition, and energy readings, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing, and turning on the notification so you don't miss the future readings. Also, if you feel this reading may help someone you know, please share it with them. Your support helps this channel grow and reach those who need these messages. For personal queries or collaboration, you can reach me on the email address that is mentioned in the description below. Take a deep breath, set your intentions. Let's see what the spirits wants Scorpions to know about love during June 2026. Let's begin. The past, the cards are Queen of Cups, present Ace of Swords, future Eight of Pentacles, obstacles Two of Wands, and outcome is Ace of Wands. I'll pull up the clarifier for all of them. The clarifier for the past Queen of Cups is Six of Swords, Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, and Five of Cups. And the present Ace of Swords, the clarifiers are Six of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and Knight of Swords. For future energy of Eight of Pentacles, the clarifiers are Magician, Strength, Chariot, and Ace of Swords. Obstacles, Two of Wands. The cards are Temperance, Emperor, Hanged Man, and Eight of Cups. For the outcome, Ace of Wands, the clarifiers are Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Page of Cups, and Two of Swords. Okay, there are triple new beginning energies that we see. We have it from the present, do have a clarifier in the future, the Ace of Swords, and also we have it in the outcome, the Ace of Wands. This spread is about the new beginnings. This spread is about what is happening after an ending. So the past set of cards, we do see it contains Five of Cups, Ten of Wands, Nine of Wands, and Six of Pentacles. Six of Swords here. The spirit is telling that they're showing a bridge from emotional exhaustion into the movement. I know what hurt you, but we are no longer focused on the wound. We are focusing on what comes next. The entire reading is going to be moving from the emotions, the truth that you have to deal with, and the effort that you're going to be putting in the future, and the decision that you have to make, and the action that you have to take. There is a very specific storyline here. The feelings are already established. The Queen of Cups here is the very first card in the spread. So the question is not about, does someone care? The question is more of, what happens after the truth becomes clearer. The reading starts in the water and ends in fire here. So it starts with the emotion and ends in action. It starts in the sort of reflection and gives you the movement. So for many Scorpio, June feels like the month where long period of emotional processing is happening. Finally, it starts becoming productive. So something has felt stagnant before moving here. Something that has felt confusing begins moving and start making sense. So, from the past energy, we have a clarifier of Six of Swords, Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, and Five of Cups. This is one of the heaviest part of the spread. The Queen of Cups tells me there were genuine emotional investment. This wasn't a superficial attraction. This is not somebody who you forgot after a week. There is energy of where somebody truly cared. Now look at what happens next. Someone emotionally withdrew, or the relationship itself kind of changed the form. The Nine of Wands. After the separation, someone kept fighting. This isn't the card about giving up. This is more of I'm tired, but I'm still here. I'm waiting, hoping. There is let me try this one more time kind of an energy. Then the connection has become heavy. What began as love started feeling like responsibility. It was more like a burden, and carrying you start feeling like you're carrying everything alone. This can be an emotional labor, always initiating, always understanding, always forgiving, always waiting. We have Five of Cups, and eventually disappointment kind of arrives. Notice how logical this sequence is. Queen of Cups, Six of Swords, Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, and Five of Cups. There is love, distance, being persistent here, and there is sense of exhaustion and the kind of sadness. This is an entire relationship story. The clarifiers are showing exactly how the relationship won't kind of develop. Scorpio kind of entered the June carrying so much emotional weight. In the present energy, we have Ace of Swords, clarified by Six of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and Knight of Swords. Now the energy kind of completely changes. Notice the cup kind of disappears. Not even a single cup here. The emotions are no longer the focus becomes the reality. The first one is the Six of Pentacles. Is this balanced? Who is giving? Who is receiving? Who invests? Who is benefiting? So it's time for to examine the fairness of the situation or the bond. Then we begin looking ahead. This card does not stare at the past, it stares at the horizon. Somebody starts asking, "No, what's happening next?" Now the effort becomes important, not feelings, it's the effort. This card asks who is building this connection, who is contributing more, who's actually doing all the work. Then sudden movement appears, communication, action, directness, and the kind of truth. This literally be somebody saying that something like they have been trying to say all this time. This can literally be somebody saying something that they have avoided saying. Knight of Swords does not sugarcoat things. Here we see the Six of Pentacles. It's kind of an evaluation. Three of Wands is more of a planning. Eight of Pentacles is the effort. And Knight of Swords is more to do with the action. That's incredibly logical. The cards are saying before we move forward, we need to examine the balance. After the balance, we'll set the vision, what to be done, and we put in work towards it. After that comes the communication. Okay, this is what I think, this is where things are, and this is what I want to move forward. Either it's you telling yourself or you telling the other person. The future energy, we have Eight of Pentacles, clarified by Magician, Strength, Chariot, and Ace of Swords. This is the strongest position in the spread. So the magician here tells us that is about the manifestation, intentionally you're creating, knowing what you want. This is somebody stops being passive. With this strength, the courage appears, the ability to overcome the fear, the ability to overcome pride and ego. There is a movement, actual movement. No, the chariot does not think it drives, it's kind of progresses. Then the clarity arrives. Even though the present energy is about the clarity, it's about further clarifying things that this is the second Ace of Swords. The spirit is repeating the same message. The truth here matters. The communication matters here. We've seen the communication. This clarity that you have attained, and then this is a double downer. Transparency also becomes crucial. So the magician here is one of the cleanest progress. It talks about this a desire, confidence, movement, and the communication that's going to happen. So the future cards all are moving towards action. Nothing here is passive. The obstacles we have two of wands. It is clarified by temperance, emperor, hanged man, and eight of cups. So this obstacle is fascinating because every card is pulling a different direction. The temperance is about, you waiting, patient, allowing time, and controlling things, managing, protecting yourself here. With the hanged man, not to move, observe, to take a pause. Eight of Cups here talks about walking away, leaving, seeking something deeper. Do you see the problem? These cards disagree with each other. Here we say that temperance stays, ask you to stay. Eight of Cups ask you to leave. The Emperor says take control, and the hanged man says surrender. So these obstacles are confusing about the correct path. The issue isn't about the lack of opportunity. The issue is conflicting internal message. Your mind is kind of pulling you from all angles. The outcome we see is Ace of Wands, clarified by Queen of Pentacles. This becomes much deeper than you look. First comes the stability, security, and the grounding. Something becomes more reliable here. Fear appears with Nine of Swords, anxiety, overthinking. What if you get hurt again? And there is an emotional opening up messages, an apology or a confession or a vulnerable conversation where you have to make a decision. The outcome is not about the kind of, the Page of Cups here. The outcome is the actual Two of Swords. The outcome is to choose. The biggest synchronicity that we see here is the card of the entire reading. Is Queen of Cups. Look at the final emotional card. It's the Page of Cups. The Queen of Cups normally has more emotional maturity than the Page of Cups, but I think the spirit is saying something different. The Queen of Cups is the past becoming wounded, heavy, disappointed, burdened. The Page of Cups is emotional vulnerability again, being curious, open again, being hopeful. The transformation isn't becoming harder, the transformation is becoming open after a disappointment. So the what the spirit, spirits actually tell us is the clarify tells a completely different story. You loved deeply. The distance that happened, you carried too much and you became disappointed. So you started seeing the truth. Then you begin evaluating the effort that has been put in, and you started demanding kind of action that is required. And the new chapter is beginning to form, but the kind of indecision that has still remained from the past. But ultimately, the spirit shows that there is a new opportunity that is entering or arriving. The real question is not whether the opportunity arrives, the real question is whether the fear or truth that makes the final decision. The central message of entire spread. Scorpio, if I step back and look at the entire spread rather than the individual cards, what stands out to me is that this reading is not really about another person. It begins looking like a love reading, but it slowly transformed into a reading about personal alignment. The past shows that you're carrying some emotional weight for a very long time, and the present talks about the entire situation, and the future kind of shows the effort and intention. There is obstacle being the indecision about which way to go. There is opportunity in the outcome. The sequence is important because The spirit is not showing a random collection of events. The spirit is showing the process. For many Scorpios, the biggest shift happening in the June is not necessarily another person changing. For many Scorpios, the biggest shift happening in June is not necessarily that another person changes. It is the Scorpio changing. The Queen of Cups in the past was willing to carry emotional burden because her heart was invested. And the Ace of Swords here in the present begins asking difficult question. Is this healthy? Is this reciprocal? Am I seeing the reality, or I'm seeing the only the potential? Or it's just you're holding on to things because of what happened, because what no, is happening right now. Those are uncomfortable questions, but they're very liberating. So one of the strongest themes throughout this reading is the difference between emotion and actions that to be taken. The feelings are already there. The Queen of Cups proves that, and Page of Cups proves that also. But the feelings alone are not enough to sustain a connection. That's where the spirits repeatedly show pentacles, where you have to put in effort, where you have to consistently invest and be reliable. And the card seems to be saying that if Scorpio is entering the phase where action becomes more important than the promises. What somebody says becomes less important than what somebody does here. So, what somebody's intent becomes less important than what somebody consistently show. That's a major lesson. Another thing I notice here is the contrast between the chariot and the kind of the hanged man that we have. The chariot in the future, the hanged man in the obstacles. One says move, the other one says wait. One says act, another one asks you to pause. So one is choosing the direction, other one says remain suspended. For many Scorpios, this describes our relationship dynamics. For others, it may describe an internal conflict. A part of you is ready to move forward, other one is waiting for certainty. The part of you is excited about what comes next. Part of you are repeated, afraid of repeating the past. So that's where the outcome becomes interesting here. The outcome is not showing rejection or an ending or a doorway. The Ace of Wands is an opening. Page of Cups is an opening. The Queen of Pentacles here is talking about stability. The only difficult card here is the Nine of Swords. Even that, the cards does not repeat the external problem. It represents the internal fears that one is dealing with, which means the greater challenge is moving forward may not be may not be whether the love arrives. It may be whether the Scorpio trusts it when it does. Because disappointment can teach people to protect themselves, the heartbreak can teach people to hesitate. The pain can teach people to question opportunities that they would have once embraced. So the spirit seems to be encouraging Scorpios to remain open. It's not asking you to be naive or reckless, but be open. The reading does not ask Scorpio to forget the past here. The reading asks you to learn from the past without living inside it. That feels like a true lesson here. The Queen of Cups experienced disappointment, the Ace of Swords gained understanding, and the Eight of Pentacles learned how to build. Ace of Wands here gained understanding. The Eight of Pentacles learning how to build, and the Ace of Wands is ready to begin again. The Ace of Wands is ready to begin again. This is evolution, this is the journey, and that may be the most important message Spirit wants Scorpio to hear this month. Scorpio, if this reading has found you the right moment, there may be something you need to hear. You don't have you don't have to carry every emotional burden alone. One thing is very clear throughout this spread is that there has been tendency to keep carrying things long after they become heavy. Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands in the past tells me that some of you have been stronger than you needed to be. Sometimes strength is not continuing to carry the weight. Its strength is to put it down, is to admit that something hurts you, and is also admitting that something disappointed you. It is allowing yourself to move forward. This reading is not asking you to forget what happened. This is not asking you to pretend everything was okay. This is not asking you to ignore your intuition. Instead, seems to be asking you to trust what you have learned. The experience you have been through were not meaningless. The heartbreak taught you something, the delay taught you something, and this uncertainty has prepped you up. Whatever the disappointment has been, now the spirit appears to be saying that the time is to use those lessons to build something different. Not every person is the same, not every person has the similar opportunities, not every chapter has the similar ending. You may be entering the period where life asks you to trust again, slowly, carefully, wisely, but still trust. Because one of the biggest risks of after the disappointment is becoming so guarded that you miss out on the opportunities that is genuinely meant for you. The cards do not show somebody who is broken. The cards show somebody who is evolving, somebody becoming wiser, more discerning, more self-aware, more selective about where their energy goes. So that is not a loss. That's kind of a growth. As you move through June, ask yourself: am I making a decisions based on my future, or am I making a decision based on my past? Because those two things may lead you down to a different road. The future is in the spread. The future in the spread feels open, feels active and unfinished. Sometimes unfinished is a beautiful thing because it remains the story is still being written. Before I close this reading, let's look at some of the signs that you may resonate with. Some of you may be repeatedly saying triple one, double one, double one, triple two, triple eight, triple nine, 1010. The repeating ace energy in this reading often corresponds with 111 or double one, double one. That indicates a new beginning, alignment, communication, opportunities opening unexpectedly. You may notice themes around travel, movement, relocation, commuting, long distance connections, or cross connection from one phase of life into another. The Six of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands here. And the Chariot all points towards the movement in this direct movement. The Six of Swords from the past, Three of Wands from the present here, and the Chariot from the future all points towards the movement. The spirit may be communicating through songs that suddenly reminds you of someone, repeated dreams, the water symbols, rain, boats, unexpected conversation, the message you receive at an unusual time. So, repeated references to the journey, road, vehicles, or a destination, or even a travel plan. So, the animal signs may include horses due to the chariot, lion due to the strength, birds, particularly when you're thinking about the situation, and suddenly you'll receive a clarity. For some Scorpio, spirit may be asking you to pay attention to signs that arrive after you stop searching for them. So, one of the strongest message in this reading is that clarity appears when you stop forcing the answers. So, the Ace of Sword appearing twice here. This is not accidental. The truth is trying to find its way into the situation, whether the truth comes out through a conversation or an observation or realization, or it could be a decision. It feels as through the confusion cannot remain forever. The final message I hear from the spirit is that you have already survived the difficult chapter. Do not assume every new chapter will end the same way. Allow yourself to remain open to the possibility. Trust what you have learned, what you have known, what has been kind of shown to you, and most importantly, trust yourself. Thank you so much, Scorpios, for spending this time with me today. If this reading resonated with you, if it brought you clarity, comfort, or simply gave you something to reflect on, please do let me know in the comment section below. I will always love to hear how these messages connected with your journey. Remember, tarot is not about prediction every detail of the future. It's about understanding the energies around you, recognize the patterns, make empowered choices as you move forward. And if this reading reminds you of someone, helped you understand a situation, or you feel another Scorpio needs to hear this message, please share this video with them. You never know who might need these words at exactly at the right moment. If you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Shelo Mystics, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the further readings for your sign. As we are closing this reading, remember you're not defined by the disappointments of your past. You're not defined by the connections that did not work out. You're not defined by the chapters that has ended. You are defined by your ability to keep growing, healing, and moving forward. The cards still show the journey from the emotional heaviness towards clarity, intention, and new beginning. Trust what you have learned, trust what you have become, trust what you have been guided to next. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your spiritual journey. Until next time, Scorpio, take care of yourself, stay blessed, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.